A video on cooking apples. So I've been given loads of cooking apples, and I have cooked them, and then they're always a little bit too wet. The cooking apples. They want to, if you use them in a like a crumble or a pie, there's too much moisture in the apples once you've cooked them, and it tends to want to make the pastry go a bit soggy. It's fine for apple sauce, or if you want to make an apple puree, but I just find that it's best to, once you've cooked the apples, put them in a cloth. This is one of the cloths that I use for kind of for straining things and all that kind of stuff. And it just, by putting it in the cloth, you get rid of the excess moisture. So that's a better consistency for pies and things like that. So that won't make the it'll be good for a crumble with that. Maybe not necessarily good for a pie. And this is the liquid. There's liquid that kind of comes out at the bottom of it, just there. So it's quite thick, and I think that's full of pectin, and I think we'll be able to, I've got more than that in another container, and I'm working tomorrow, so I'm going to be at work most of the day. So I was just kind of thinking, we'll take that liquid in there, so excuse fingers, that liquid in there, so it's kind of quite, it's thick, and it's not thick because I haven't put any sugar in. So it's not a thickness because of sugar. I think that's the pectin. And I seem to remember years ago my mum made some crab apple jelly, and what she did was she cooked the crab apples kind of in a little bit in water to kind of steam them. Didn't peel them like a stalks and skins and all type of thing. Boiled them in water until they went to a pulp, and then strained it through a cloth to get as much liquid out of the pulp as possible, and then reduced that pulp and turned it into crab apple jelly, which was delicious. I can still taste it now. It was delicious. So we might be able to turn that liquid that's come out of the cooked apples, along with the other liquid, into a apple jelly. So it'll just need some reducing and some sugar kind of adding, but I'll reduce it down at work tomorrow, and then we'll have a look at it tomorrow once I've reduced it down. So we might need to add some sugar to it, but we might, and I've got some liquid pectin, so we might just be able to make some apple jelly, and then we can use the apple jelly in other things, which will be quite an interesting thing. So it'd be nice with a bit of pate or something like that, or some cooked meats. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do, and that's where that juice came from. I suppose we should be a little bit scientific. So this is all the juice that I've strained out of the apple puree. So it weighs steady, because I don't know what the container weighs, it's just easy to put another container on the scales, and that weighs 2.85 kilos. So look at that, both the same container, so you just put that container on there, and then when you put that container on there, it's just the weight of what's in the container. So we'll reduce that down and we'll see what happens. I brought some pectin with me, and we've got some sugar, so I'm just curious to see what happens when that reduces down. It's quite thick as it is, so it should become thicker, and we'll see if it sets like a jelly, but not like a jelly as in jelly and ice cream and custard and that type of thing. A jelly as in a crab apple jelly, or a jelly, or a normal apple jelly. Yeah, but anyway, so bring it up to the boil, simmer it, reduce it by half, and then we'll see what it looks like then. Right, so we reduced that down to 946 grams, which is quite a lot. It's reduced, and it's gone a lot darker. So let's pour that back into a fresh pan. I strained it as well because there's a bit of scum on top. And then let's add half kilo of sugar. Bring that up to the boil. We'll give it a taste. I'll stick the finger in now. Yeah, it's probably about the right amount of sugar. It's kind of quite sweet. And I'm going to add some pectin, and we'll see if we can set it like a jelly. Right, so it was 500 grams worth of sugar, so I've just weighed what's left in the sugar packet. So what we're going to add, we're going to add, I suppose it should be, yeah, I can't do this one-handed because I need to stir this pectin in. So I'll have to pause, and we're going to add about a tablespoon worth of that pectin, and we're going to see what happens. Right, pectin has gone in. I don't know if pectin works, there actually has to be some fruit solids in there. I'm kind of quite, I don't know, but I think it'll go thick because I've reduced it through the sugar and through the actual viscosity of the apple kind of juice that kind of went in there. Was it apple juice? Could we call it apple juice? I'm not entirely sure. But I think that might set. We'll just kind of have to see. We'll pour it into a container. Well, into a jar, and then we'll see what it's like in the morning if it sets. Fingers crossed. So I've got a little bit too much to put in that jar. There's some bubbles rising to the top. That's fine. So we'll put a lid on that. But what we'll do is we'll just pour some of that onto a plate, and we'll put that in the fridge. And we'll see if it sets in the fridge, because that's going to take a long time to cool, it's that. But if we put that in the fridge, that will set in a couple of hours, and then we'll get an idea if it sets like a jelly stroke jam. Has it set? Like it has. It's gone like. No, underneath it hasn't. Is that because it's just not? The top's gone like jelly, so it might just need a little bit longer to cool down. So we'll have a look at the one in the jar tomorrow morning. The top's gone jellified. Underneath's just a little bit soft. So we'll have a look at the one in the jar tomorrow morning. Right, let's see if it turned into an apple jelly. Well, it's sealed anyway. Oh, there we go. Let's just get rid of that off the top of there. We don't want that. But it looks like it's set. We've made a kind of we've made an apple jelly. Look at that. So that's going to be really nice and things. Well, I don't know if I'm going to use it for anything. It needs some acidity in it. It needs some acidity. That's alright, I don't know what I'm going to use it for. But it goes to show that I can take the juice from the apples, reduce it down, add some sugar, add some pectin, and it makes an apple jelly. So even less waste from the apples. I'm not sure I'm going to use it for. I'll find some kind of use for it. I can't think of a use. I'll end up using it for something. I might use it as a I don't know. It'll probably just live in the fridge for a while. But anyway, it's sealed alright. So I'll have to do something with it now. But probably not make a video out of it. It can just live in the fridge for a while.